When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings. You are watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hey.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So, this week has been interesting for me. I rarely get viewing in. I will admit. I do have an opportunity. My job is one of those that is a up and down. I'm either working with zero free time and under like super stress, or I am waiting on work to arrive, which is also stressful. But while I'm waiting, I got my handy dandy portable Blu-ray player, which does not give me the views I would like, but it still gives me, what I need, and allows me to do more viewing than I can at home. I think I might have that TV fired up maybe about 5 hours total a week. Which most American households, it sounds like a lot, but it's not so much when you're talking about over like 7 days. And that's if we get finished soon and we do like viewing afterwards. If we don't, then it's more like maybe 2-3 hours.
Or when our when we come to visit and we don't spend the whole time playing games upstairs, which
that's more because it's warmer upstairs and it gets cooler down here, and some people don't like it when it's cooler.
It was board game night the other night.
Oh, very
always
good.
Fun when I win.
Got to play some Kill Dr. Lucky and
Yes.
some God, what was that?
Ticket to Ride
yeah,
UK.
Ticket to Ride UK.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
lost big on both of them, but you can't always win.
Right.
So speaking of can't always win, let's talk about what little I did manage to catch.
Okay.
So I usually catch up on YouTube when I'm at the hospital waiting on stuff, because that's a lot more frequent when I get those calls. But occasionally I have long enough where I run out of YouTube because I only subscribe to so many people. And by the way, thank you to some of our new subscribers. We got, I think, 2 or 3 this week.
Oh, really?
Which
Nice.
is very good. So thank you both, or you 3. I can't remember how many. If it was a third, it was at the beginning. Y'all are excellent. Love ya. Stay with us. But I do try and catch up on a little bit of stuff. I got a subscription to Crunchyroll again, which is nice. And because of that, there are a couple where I was watching.
Nice.
It was mainly for one. One show, and I'll get to that one when I get to my watched. But the ones I am watching are, of course, Reborn, which is a nice little series, and another series called My Hero Academia, which I don't know if it's entirely through. I would say I finished the 3rd season, but I don't think it's over yet. I'm not sure. You think it would be?
I have a feeling that's one that could run for a while, but I don't know. You've
as
you've
far
gone
as
further than I have
season-wise,
in stories.
It's when they're moving into the dorms right now.
Ah.
So the ones I'm also watching is we're working on one together. I showed my Gravity Falls set to y'all in the newscast, and we're watching that. We're going through that together. I caught up to the from the first disc of what we had already watched previously on Hulu, and so now we're both caught up on the Blu-ray.
That was officially on this week's releases, right?
Yes, which is why I brought it out. I was like, yep, got it a week early, but I ordered it directly from Shout Factory.
A little more than a week.
And I showed y'all my poster, which is really nice. And then, of course, I'm continuing to watch Rugrats Season 3.
Of course.
And I'm making headway. I'm almost done with Season 3. Season 4 is also there. And I'm glad that they are re-releasing the series. But Season 4 is as far as they've got so far for the cheap ones. So 5 and 6, I'm sure, will be out in the meantime. Now let's get to what I have finished. Well, I finished Season 3 of Food Wars, which was the reason I got Crunchyroll. So I'm certain that that's the end of Season 3, which really ramps things up. Whereas My Hero Academia kind of lost me a little bit. I wasn't as into it for the third season. But Food Wars, I continued to want to watch it episode after episode, and got through the third season pretty quickly, and then I got the ability to watch it. That did not have the third season up on Hulu, which made me need to watch it somewhere. Crunchyroll. I also, in preparation for this week's, I guess for yesterday's viewing, I watched this, which is Magic of Mie, which he is known for producing really early short films. I mean, we're talking, like here, the earliest one is 1904, but he's gotten some earlier than that, some as early as, I want to say as early as the 1800s, he had a couple.
He was one of the earliest filmmakers, and arguably one of the very earliest to use any sort of special effects.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was able to, he was one of the, actually he probably was the first to have color in his pictures, and they had to paint each one of the film slides.
Imagine that.
But this was in preparation to one of our other ones, which I figure you watched that this week as well. So I'll use this to transition from me to you to what you had completed this week, and that is Hugo, which is coming up for our discussion on Tuesday, so yesterday, on Inside Movies Galore. If you haven't checked it out, go to their YouTube channel, check out the conversation. I'm sure it's awesome. I love this film. I think it got a little bit more flack than it deserved. To me, Scorsese, great job.
Right.
I mean, how many children's films has Scorsese done?
Well, see, I think one of the reasons the film got a little bit of a mixed reception probably is the fact that it's really not a children's film. It's a family film. It's it's safe. It's, this is weird that this is Scorsese we're talking about, and actually more on that in just a moment, but it's a safe film. It is based on a kid's book, The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. I believe Selznick has a very small role in the film. Basically shows up, But Scorsese took the basic framework, which I need to read the book. I've never read the book. But he took the basic framework of the book and used it as an opportunity to write a love letter to early cinema. And Georges Méliès being one of them, or the main one. And so it is a family film. It is very safe. It does include a little bit of slapsticky, age-appropriate humor.
Especially with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen is the station detective who I've read that they intentionally based him in part on Jacques Clouseau.
I did like how they had a lot of little background stories, like the little romance between the old man and the woman with the dog, and things like that. There's just a generally good feel to it, and it's just really a love letter to classic cinema. And
incidentally, the two he's talking about, Richard Griffiths and Francis de la Tour, who, along with Helen McCrory, makes 3 of the cast members of Harry Potter that are in the movie. And also, notably, 2 of the Scorsese-produced Boardwalk Empire, Michael Pitt and Michael Stuhlbarg, show up in the film.
Reprising their characters.
Yes, obviously. That would be very disturbing on several levels. And then, of course, but this is the funny part, because their co-star, Shea Whigham, showed up in the other Scorsese film I watched. I made a point. When I got Hugo, I actually got several Scorsese films within a short span of time, and I made a point to set up 2 twofers. And a year and a half, 2 years ago, I watched The Departed and Casino, which are much more mainstream Scorsese films.
Those actually go well together.
They did go well together. It was a good day of movies. But the other two I had to sit on because they were so imbalanced, so inappropriate that I had to do it. But Hugo's a little bit more than 2 hours. It's probably average length for a Scorsese film. But The Wolf of Wall Street is a 3-hour movie.
Family-friendly night.
Oh my God. You could not find more disparate Scorsese films. And they went great together, and I loved it. But that was actually a very, very, very big movie day for me because I saw 4 movies that were the 2 Scorsese ones were ones I'd reviewed. I'd seen both of them. And I have to say, I love Hugo. I really don't like The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't like it. It's entertaining.
Very mean movie.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. It's entertaining. It's very well done. Although they probably could have cut 15 minutes. But, my God, it's offensive on so many levels, not to mention the huge amount of language. Yeah, like I said, the 2 films were very, very different. And then 2 more films. I ended up this past week randomly, out of nowhere, seeing 2 of the less acclaimed recent Harrison Ford films.
Yeah.
I ended that night watching Firewall, which was okay. And last night I saw Hollywood Homicide, which was okay.
Yeah.
But in between Hugo and Firewall, I actually went out to the movies and I saw a really incredible, awesome film. I actually got to go see the documentary Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is all about Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and all that stuff. And really good movie.
I really want to see it.
Yeah.
So that's 2 you've been to theaters in the last 2 weeks that I am jealous of because I can't get out to the theaters.
Well, this might be the last one for a couple weeks for me until Teen Titans go to the movies.
Screw that.
But, yeah, Won't You Be My Neighbor is great. And whether or not you actually grew up with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the impact is still there. And, in fact, I was fairly astonished at the impact that some people claim is there. This whole thing about our current society of entitled children, it's all Mr. Rogers' fault. I'm like, that is one of the stupidest arguments I've ever heard. And then the whole, I couldn't believe this. This was...
Evil themes such as tolerance and...
Yes. The man was a lifelong Republican and an ordained minister who never did really much of anything that could be called unchristian. And the people who profess to be that are the people that accused him of being evil for being tolerant. And I'm like, what is with people?
Well,
but
it was a different time for him when he really was. Though, of course, you also have that story where at Charles' graduation, he was supposed to actually speak, and that was the year he passed.
Yes, not just the year he passed. This is like I can't call it a regret, because in no way was in any way could I have done anything here, but I will definitely call it a disappointment. Fred Rogers was supposed to be our commencement speaker.
See, we had...
I was supposed to be our commencement speaker, and everyone in my class who was American was thrilled. 2 of my best friends were not, and they were like, what's the big deal? And I'm like,
yeah.
It's Mr. Rogers.
Who'd you get instead?
He passed not 2 weeks before graduation. Not 2 weeks. It was right there. And they got some dude... I can't even remember his name.
We had Matt, I can't think of his... It's like Simpsons guy, Matt...
It wasn't Matt Groening, was it? No, wasn't it like one of his cohorts?
No, it was one of the creators.
It was either you guys got a good one.
Yeah, because he was talking about his creations.
Yeah.
I remember he spent a lot of time on Futurama, not on The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think it was Matt Groening, but it was one of the people involved with both of those, yeah.
So,
But yeah, that was one of the big crushing disappointments of my life. So, but it was cool to see this movie, and I'm gratified that it's doing really well for a documentary. I mean, but
Might
yeah,
actually be an Oscar nom.
It could
Well,
be.
actually, it will be an Oscar nom. I don't
could
know.
be.
Of course, they've got that Robin Williams one that has come out, but I don't know. I haven't seen it because I need to. But I've got.
Speaking of, just real quick aside, he did the news feed because we got a special program tonight, or that we're filming tonight. But there is one news thing I really got to get something off my chest. The Emmy nominations came out this week. And they nominated the film that just won an Oscar for documentary. The Emmys and the Oscars should not overlap. This is my point, that Netflix needs to pick a camp and be there. They're going to stream or release in theaters. They can't do this straddling the line crap. And the fact that the Emmys went and nominated this film, shame on you, Emmy.
Well, it's the
shame.
Death of theater of the cinema.
No, well, I don't think it's that. But I do think it's unfair to people who don't subscribe to these streaming services to have awards-nominated stuff that you can only get through the service. It'd be another thing if Netflix was releasing these things on physical media in a timely manner. But they're not.
Yeah, I think Icarus will get a release, but it'll
eventually.
Because the other one, I think, got
But again, it's the principle of the thing. Yeah. You should not have a film getting Oscars and Emmys.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. So, anyway, enough of that rant. I have a few more things for the week. I did see, in preparation for last week's Movies Galore, I watched L'Inferno. Well, nice old film. And, that might have been it for the movies.
Yeah, we just hit the classics.
I did, yeah. I did, we went from a film from the dawn of cinema to a film about the dawn of cinema. It's kind of cool. So I also, a little bit more CSI and a little bit more of the Digishrad specials. And the big thing, the big TV one.
You gotta be close to that if you've gotten a few more of those down there. I have many left.
I finished season 1 of Squid Girl. Yay! But I found out something that sucks, which is why I have it with me. We're going to watch the shorts after this.
Yeah.
I couldn't play the shorts on my player because my player sucks, and I have to be able to put the arrows in a particular direction, and I couldn't go in that direction. Very annoying. But
you need a new remote.
And as far as reading goes, I have started another book on the Great American Read. I have started Anne of Green Gables, which is a pretty good book so far. I'm enjoying it. And I finally got a hold of a copy. I was waiting for the next volume in the Invincible series, which I think I talked about briefly before. Yeah. Volume 11 is the absolute proof positive that I needed. Absolutely. This is not diminishing Invincible. I think it's a wonderful series. It's very well done. But the characters, most of them, are obviously checking off other characters from other series. And I have said this before, but 11 proves it. That the central couple of Mark and Eve is supposed to be a stand-in for Scott and Jean Grey. Because she has a resurrection power.
Does he cheat on her constantly?
No, he's actually decent. Although 11 also did put a little something in there.
Oh, okay.
But it will suffice it to say, there's also a strong-willed woman chasing him. But basically, they were beaten to within an inch of death. And their little girl was injured. And Eve's resurrection power kicks in. And it's at least the third time she has resurrected herself. And I'm like, she's obviously the Phoenix.
Yeah.
But better. Honestly, she's a better character. Sorry to all you Jean Grey fans out there.
I haven't liked Cyclops since he screwed around with Madeline Pryor.
Oh, and Mark is so much better than Cyclops. Cyclops is a dick. There's no two ways about it. He's a dick.
I mean, shoot, Cyclops is the one who single-handedly kicked off Inferno in the first place.
Exactly. But not the one we were just talking about.
No, different Inferno.
All right.
So, we ready to get started with this?
I think so, yes.
So, yeah. In any case, we'll go ahead and get with what we were watching for the week.
Okay.
Well, not watching.
Pickups.
Yes.
What we got. Yes. My first one is actually from the Christmas season, or rather shortly post-Christmas. I have the bad habit of looking for after sales when I really don't have the money.
Yeah.
But I found something really cheap at Barnes & Noble. It cost me a little under $5. It's a show I wanted to get, or a movie I wanted to get, even though it's one not everyone liked. Gangster Squad. I mean, come on. It's by Ruben Fleischer, the director of Zombieland. They reteamed him with Emma Stone. And it's got Ryan Gosling, Josh Brolin, Sean Penn, Nick Nolte, Anthony Mackie, Giovanni Ribisi, and Michael Pena. Who the hell cares if it's any good? That's worth having. But I actually liked it.
To me, it was a failed attempt to recapture what was lost in The Untouchables.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not the best gangster flick out there, but I thought it got dumped on unfairly, and like I said, that's worth having.
A superhero squad of gangsters. Alright, so, mine is down here. So, I talked about this a little bit last time, and I'd been playing on it, and then I didn't get any playtime on it. Matter of fact, 0. My wife got more video game time than I did this week. But this game is one that I have been looking forward to, has finally out, which is Octopath Traveler. This is a harken back to the old school RPGs, those old Squaresoft Final Fantasy style. Even done in a Final Fantasy style sort of 16-bit look, but with a lot of 3D environments. And a really cool battle system. This thing has a lot in it for you to do. It's almost a sort of open world, and it's kind of cool playing something like that. And some of the environments are breathtaking. Looking at the water, I'm in a... last time I left on the demo, I was in a snow village, and you could see the sparkling of the snow. It really was a fun, unique experience, and I look forward to continuing the demo with the full game. So I am looking forward to that experience.
Alright. My next one, I'm going to be straight up. I don't think this is probably going to be that good, but it was kind of a cart topper. The rest of mine is my purchase so far from this month's Sentai sale. May end up being the only purchase for this month. Kind of sucks, but whatever.
Put K-On on that.
Huh?
They should put K-On on that.
They're not going to. It's not out yet. But maybe at the Christmas sale.
Maybe.
Yeah. But this one, like I said, I don't have high hopes for it, but I had earmarked it as one to get. And it cost $5. And it's called Love Love. And, yeah, I really don't know much about it. I had earmarked it as, why not? It's a made in Japan release. Their stuff is a mixed bag. Sometimes it's really good.
Boobies!
Probably. We will see. But probably not for a long time. It's an L. It's going to be a while.
Well, as you can see, I'm doing another all video game... No, not this time. Actually, only one more because it arrived. I really don't have the money or the time to do them. I have even less time for video games than I do for regular cinema. But this one, somebody did a list with this on it, and I could not help but get a copy of this, which is Shadows of the Damned. Now, this is where you go to hell with a special demon gun to kill demons with, and it's got a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's one of those that was a hidden gem, something that most people did not get or pick up on the Xbox. And sure enough, I found it relatively cheap and brand new. Still got the protective tape on it. And I look forward to trying it. It's by the people who created it's from the director of Resident Evil 4, so Shinji Mikami is involved in this. and the sound director of Silent Hill. So I know it's going to have some really creepy music in the background. So I am looking forward to that. I like myself some survival horror. I don't know where I'm going to fit it in, but it is going to be seen. It's going to be done.
Okay. All right. And my next one, really the next three are all ones I hinted at Memorial Day would be gotten next time there was a sale, and sure enough, they were. Last time I presented the series that follows this one, so now I have the whole franchise. I got Little Buster's Refrain, which, again, this is a key animation series. The same basic people who did Canon and Clannad and Air and whatnot. It's a rather longer series than some of the others. And I have not yet gotten to see it. I don't know as much about it as the other shows, but it looks fun. And like I said, I've wanted for a while. I've had the first series for a while. I finally got the 2 sequel series. So,
now you're ready to watch it.
Yeah, one day.
So, speaking of sequel series, or actually I should say prequel series, Prince Enma, as you know, the NIS title,
right.
It had 2 previous series. One that was never released in the United States, unfortunately. And then it was also this OVA, which is Demon Prince Enma. It's only 4 episodes long. But, but they're long episodes, so like 45-minute episodes. So, still pretty decent length. A little bit more horror-y and less, say,
Goofy.
comedy, like the other series. But I'm a completionist, so I want to see where it came from. I like to look at the roots. So this I am looking forward to. I can't wait to check it out.
All right, and these last 2 I can't wait to check out. These are 2 that, like I said, I've been wanting for a while. Finally got a hold of them. Pretty good prices.
Wow, another one, huh?
Yep, another one. I got the Sentai Complete or Special Edition Collection for Amagi Brilliant Park. Which this one I've been after for a while. This was actually one of their earlier ones, and for some reason it hasn't sold out yet. But this is a good set. It comes with a lot of stuff.
So what's it about?
It's about a theme park with weird stuff.
Well, it is worth checking out.
You got your Blu-ray disc collection, the DVD collection, you got a book, small book, and it looks like it's basically fan art, but by big name artists, and they're really nice stuff. And then you got the box of knickknacks, which is very interesting. I'm kind of annoyed by this. There's a button that doesn't have a back. It's just the front of the button. I guess you're supposed to turn it into a button, but it's like, whatever. And then you got little pins. I think those are like the park mascots or something. You actually have a game token from the park, which is kind of cool. Okay. Certificate of Authenticity, which I'm wondering why certain ones have that and certain ones don't.
Because some of them aren't authentic.
I guess. Got a park guidebook. A whole lot of stickers. There's like several sheets of stickers. And then a game. It's like a dice game, apparently. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So that's that one. And I really don't know a huge amount about it. I know that, like I said, it's about a theme park for, I think, for like spirits or something along those lines. You can see the big picture there that shows a whole bunch of the characters. It is supposed to be a real colorful kind of up-tempo kind of series, and definitely looks really fun. And like I said, anytime, I was definitely waiting for this to be a reasonable price. I think it's like $45 on the sale, which for these sets, that is a pretty good price. So I'm definitely definitely happy to finally have. I might
Especially
be
since
brilliant
it's like
part.
70 on Right Stuff right now.
Yeah.
And that's their sale price.
Yeah, I mean, not to... We don't want to knock Right Stuff because Right Stuff's awesome. But when they're concurrently doing sales with Sentai almost always has...
because it's going to be cheaper.
They have the better price, almost always. On the Sentai products, I should say.
So this other one was one that I heard from... I believe it was from Light and Shadows channel a while back. I think it was. I do apologize if I got it wrong, but you can correct me. I know you watch the videos. You can correct me. And that is Devil's Domain. Now, this one has one of my favorite YouTubers in it, which I believe is Cool Duder. I can't guarantee that because, again, it's been a while since I actually purchased this darn thing. But this is about somebody who's a social media obsessed teen, and of course conflicting messages with sexuality and misunderstandings with parents. Typical teen drama stuff. When she gets secretly filmed binging, purging, and masturbating in... Wow, that's quite a bit of a combination right there.
Yeah.
The video goes viral, and she suffers extreme cyberbullying. Suicidal, on the brink of insanity, a beautiful, mysterious stranger, the devil, strikes up an online relationship with her. Ah, the devil's online. And working part-time.
Always surprised.
They grow close and meet, and the stranger offers help in exchange for a favor. The devil will rid her of the bullies and give Lisa fame and fortune in exchange for the baby. Or for a baby. Lisa agrees, and as the bullies die one by one, Lisa's conscience kicks in, and she regrets doing the deal. In a climactic finale, the devil threatens eternal suffering and the death of her loved ones until she finally succumbs, and to give the devil a baby that will grow to rain terror upon the world. Like I say, I'm curious about this. Again, it looks fun. I do plan on watching this soon enough.
Light and frothy.
It kind of reminds me. There's a film called I want to say it's 961. It's one of these it's one of these something. It's 3 numbers and it's evil. Yeah. It's not 666. It's like basically you dial this call line, and it's the devil on the other end, and he's one to do stuff for you, but you gotta do him favors, and you become a little more demonic as you use this line. This kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Maybe that's what it's going to be in style.
Part of me is kind of thinking about Hellgirl as well, in some ways. But
well, there is that regret portion.
Yeah.
All right. Your last one.
And my last one. This is another one that it's newer, but I wanted to get when it went on sale last time, and I was very happy to get on sale this time. Got premium set for Flip Flappers.
I've been wanting to see my copy of that.
It's shiny. It's very shiny.
That one's going for $90 on Right Stuff.
But this one, though, is, it's newer.
Yeah.
But this, I'm going to be honest, this is very weak by Sentai standards. You've got this book is the bulk of it. And it is a nice book. Look at that. It's a big book. And it's got a lot of stuff in it. A lot of stuff, character information, art scenes, things like that, episode info. Nice book. Very nice. And then you got the actual case, which I think it's Blu-ray only. I don't think there is a DVD in this one. And you got a nice lenticular bookmark that goes in there. And a pack of art cards that looks pretty good.
So, some lentils and some bookmarks.
Yes, exactly. And that's really it. That's all that comes with it. Now, I will say this. This is normally one of the cheaper sets that Sentai has offered as far as their premium sets go. And on the Sentai sale, it's what, $38? It's
Yeah,
not
like I said,
that expensive.
It surprised me when it was 96 on Right Stuff.
Right.
I thought it was going to be...
I had wondered why this went down in price so quickly, and that's because it's not, But if you think about it in comparison to others, like let's say, for example, if you were to compare this to your typical NIS set, it's about on par with an NIS set. And it's a little bit less. It's actually nicer than your typical limited Funimation set. So if you can pick it up right now for $38, that's actually a better deal than most of your Funimation sets. Yep. So, and I've heard really good things about this show. I really want to see it. So these will both be coming up soon. In my own viewing, I am prioritizing the limited sets. Once Squid Girl's out of the way, I'm going to start going through them alphabetically, starting with a Kamiga Kill, and then this will be the next one. So, it'll be interesting.
Well, I'm going to end it on a nice, well, kind of scary show from my childhood, and possibly from your childhood, and that is Dinosaurs.
Not the mama.
So, Dinosaurs is... It kind of reminds me of a different take on the Flintstones, in a sense.
Yeah.
Where you've got this average family sitcom, but it takes place in this back in time when dinosaurs ruled the earth. So you got these dinosaurs taking on the family life. Now, this is all of it. It did not cost much. $20 got me the whole.
Nice.
And so it's seasons 1 through 4. It's... Well, it's an interesting show. I'll admit the costumes can be a little bit frightening to children, but I thought it was cool when I was younger.
Yeah, I loved it when I was younger.
Though the ending is depressing. I mean, really depressing. I'm not going to ruin it for you. If you really want it ruined, trust me, many people have put it on their list of top 10 depressing episode enders or season enders. And it does kind of speak to these times. So, hopefully, we won't end that way. And, but otherwise, we can enjoy this. You know, the funny thing is, he was fighting with that version of Barney the Dinosaur in some kind of comedy drag-out just a couple episodes prior to the serious finale, so... But
good times.
With that being said, we are done. And we will see you again next time.
Right.
Now, we are going to be coming back to you with one extra video this week. That's why I was covering the news. I mentioned it in the news, but I'll mention it here, which is 15 anime series that we would like to see get either a complete release or just a release in general. I mean...
We're gonna try and do this as kind of a an occasional little extra thing. We've already got a couple others worked out coming up. Basically, one of the news items of the past week, which I'm sure you mentioned, was Anime Expo, and so they've been talking about releases and licenses, and so I was like, this is a good time to talk about what really needs it. And
I found this out today. I didn't know if you saw it. Criterion has announced some of their October releases. Princess Bride is going to be a Criterion release. Yes.
Okay, that was actually on my list, so I can find room for another one. Okay, I'm getting that one. Yeah. There's that, and they've also announced, we'll go ahead and mention it if you haven't already, the Bergman one.
All I did is just the updates.
This looks flipping awesome. It's like, what, 18?
Oh, yeah.
20?
It's expensive.
It's like $300 retail, but it's like 18 or 20 Bergman films. And with the usual Criterion slew of extras. It's like,
I don't know if I could take that much Bergman.
I probably could, but not all at once.
Yeah, that'd
take
be
a minute.
A lot at once.
It'd take
I've already got a number of them already.
I think I already have the Seventh Seal and Wild Strawberries. I really need to get the others.
I have those, and then the Through a Glass Darkly trilogy.
I want that trilogy, and I think it's out of print. If it's not out of print, they don't ever seem to stock it at Barnes & Noble. So it's like, yeah. But at any rate, and I do want to mention, I will probably not be here for this next week. the thing that I thought was happening today is happening next week, but we'll see.
So you'll be getting to see my lovely face
Yeah.
for the news and maybe the pickups.
Mhm.
So we'll see,
Uh-huh.
and we will check you out on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.